Good afternoon to Committee of City Operations, December 4th, 4 p.m. meeting. Call this meeting to order. Let the record reflect we have Councilman Garza with an excused absence. For proper motion for November 6th meeting minutes approval.
I would move the minutes of November 6th.
We have a proper motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. We have public comment on agenda items up to 3 minutes. Is there anyone here from the public? Okay.
She's here for,
The 217 Rita.
yeah, so.
Okay, so you're
I don't know if I'm technically the public, but
here for actual discussion action, so we'll let you speak. Is there anyone else? No one else present? Anyone online? All right, thank you so much. And we will be moving on to discussion action items. We have resolution B, claim appeal, claim 2192 Dale Schrader for $1,516 in red tag violation fees at 1119 North Seymour Avenue. Floor is yours, sir.
Okay. I think you all got the letter. So I keep getting these, notices of thousands of dollars. These are red tag monitoring fees on a house. I think it's I bought the house in October of 2022. So it's been 3 years I've been working on it. But the thing is, I'm like one person. I'm not a big builder or something. So I work on it and then I have other things call me away. And it just takes a long time, And the reason, to cut right to it, the reason I'm here is I've talked to code compliance officers and I said, why can't you, place hold on this fee? And they said, it's an ordinance. It's a city ordinance. There's nothing they can do. So I've been paying $165 a month fees. Here's another 2,197. So I don't know if you saw the pictures of the house. I mean, it was absolutely, here's what it looked like when I started, and, just that's actually the inside was worse than that. Here's what it looks like now. Well, actually, it's been improved even from that. So, I mean, I've done it needed electrical, plumbing, HVAC, everything. I mean, it needed a roof. It needed, everything there is. A garage. I pulled some of the permits myself because I have my own builder's license. So I've gone through, like, the porch was completely a disaster. Tried to go through the proper channels, getting permits, but it's taking so long that then they expire and, like the HVAC contractor, HVAC didn't renew and he's going to have to renew again. But it's just a long process. I mean, you can see here's the inside. When I started, there was a leak in the roof that was there for 5 years and water just was coming in. And the only reason I'm even doing this is I live 3 doors down on that street. And, so that's my story. Here's what it kind of gist of what it looks like as of right now. We're working on it, some of the inside. It's that close, we're buying cabinets and putting them in and fixtures and things like that. But I still think we're looking at 4 to 6 months away. And the reason I'm really doing this, it might be too late for me on the fees and all that thing, but I think this needs to be changed in the future for people to, I understand the red tag monitoring fees. I think I do anyway, but if a house is red tagged, it kind of discourages. If someone knows that they're going to have to pay this, it might discourage the purchase of that property. But a lot of people buy them and they underestimate the repairs that need to be done. And I think, if you see somebody making substantial progress, maybe there could be something like every 6 months if they ask, hey, can you look at this? And then in 6 months, say, okay, we'll suspend your fees, but, you know, we're gonna come back in 6 months and look at it. And if they don't do anything, then, you know, fees come back, you know, but, I don't know how many people there are like me that, you know, spend this kind of money on a completely dilapidated property. I can't be the only one, you know, but, so that's why I'm here. I'm more or less just appealing the whole process of the, I would like to see if the fees could be suspended if substantial progress, and I don't know what that exactly means, is shown. And then maybe an inspection at some time later, you know, because I think people are worried that they pull the fees and then they just stop doing things. But maybe you could go back in, say, every 6 months. It's just an idea I have, so. Anyway, that's pretty much the summary of it.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, because we have heard those kind of concerns for people who are small or just have one or two houses. Initially, I believe the spirit behind what I heard other people saying is for slumlords, but larger apartment complexes. But the majority of people that come, you know, with these appeals are small, you know, landowners or people have one or two additional residents who are trying to fix, you know, something, and then, you know, the fees are not swaying whether they're doing the progress or not. The progress is there, the investment's being made, it's just the time frame. So I do absolutely hear what you're saying. Do you have anything to add, Riley?
I can at least speak from the department's end, and I'll share that I'm joined by Tom Berry, our lead housing inspector with code enforcement, and Lysandra Crenshaw, our administrative clerk position. Both of them deal greatly with red tags and red tag monitorings, invoicing, and so forth. So if there's technical questions on this, I'll defer to them. We're not a part of the claim review process, as council knows. Defer that back to Lizzie and city attorney's office. As Dale knows this, we're good friends, and we've spoken about this concept or concern. I can say the department's understanding, as Dale mentioned, is the letter of the law today doesn't offer an opportunity to waive the red tag monitoring fees unless the tag is removed. It's out of required inspection and so forth by code enforcement. I can say to Dale's point about, if not for him today, what can be done in the future. The department has drafted with OCA a variety of changes that will, if approved by council, will offer an opportunity for folks working on a red tag property to seek a pause on a monitoring. We've been partnered with the Public Safety Committee on that. That's going to be part of a larger page, I believe, that is with Councilmember Pelevanoglu and Councilmember Koss for introduction soon. And so hopefully next legislative session that package will get approved, which in theory could then offer somebody like Dale or others who are working on a red tag home the opportunity to contact the department, prove that they've pulled necessary building permits, and we would then suspend our monthly monitoring. Unfortunately, that package hasn't been introduced yet or voted on by you all. And so my understanding as of today is, at least at the department level, I do not have the ability to waive the monitoring fee until the tag is removed.
What's the pause you're proposing?
Pause, without having the language in front of me, is if the property owner can show to the department that they have pulled necessary permit, like a building permit, and that there's then progress through inspections and so forth on a monthly basis, they would be able to request to code enforcement a pause on the monitoring. And so so every month Dale would have to make the request the month prior. So if it's December, he would have to say, hey, I pulled these permits, don't monitor me in January. And then we would either agree or not. If we do not, or if we agree and don't do that monitoring, then he wouldn't be charged. The red tag would remain, but we would be almost giving him grace because we can say he's actively working to fix it.
Yeah, retaining the property is vacant.
Correct. And the current draft is that would be a request the owner would have to make monthly, just because things can change. And that way, if he pulls a permit and starts, but then pauses, there's an opportunity for the monitoring to resume.
I don't know how this meeting works. Can I speak or how does it?
Say it's his meeting.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I speak to that? It just, as a builder and a contractor and a property owner, I think that's too cumbersome for everyone, for everyone to have to do monthly inspections. And for the builder or for the property owner to, for 1 month, okay, it's you saving $165. I think you should save your department some inspections, every month, I mean, refiling. I don't like the idea of that.
So I know that, thank you for that comment. I know that you and Dale have a relationship with, he does a lot in the community. If you're working on a public service, public safety committee, how come you haven't asked him to come to put in public comment there?
We haven't, yeah, it's just a draft at this point. So generally, at least the department side, we don't do too much of that community engagement until we've referred the matter to council for introduction. And so what I'm comfortable at least saying is that the administration has finished our draft review and that has been turned over to the two council members. I would say if they do introduce it, there will be ample opportunity for public engagement. Yeah.
So does that make sense what he's saying, Dale?
What I understood was, so the draft will be proposed to city council. And then at that time, I would be able to make those comments about that it's too
All the
cumbersome and
council,
so forth.
yeah, all the council people and the
Yeah.
whole public.
Yeah, and I really believe that's the way it's written. If that's the way it's written, 1 month, it's not gonna work.
So I'm looking at the invoicing, where does the balance come from? Because it appears that payments are being made on a regular basis.
No, I don't, here's a sheet, that I actually got this today.
I have this in my packet.
Okay. I think it's going back and summarizing, I think when you pay your property taxes, it just adds
It
the red tag
Okay,
fees
this
in.
is
So
This is showing
in
invoice.
addition to property taxes, there's $1,800 or $2,000 of red tag fees. So I pay $6,000
Probably,
penalty.
you can speak to that.
If I understand it, Sandra, correct me if I'm wrong, we issue the initial invoice at a certain time. If it hasn't been paid to the department, we transfer it to treasury, correct? And so sometimes our invoicing from code doesn't always match because this could have met a moment where he still owed it to the EDP, but it was at that point of the year where we transfer it to treasury and then it becomes a debt due to treasury through tax bill.
So then do we not, so are you getting updated that he doesn't owe the money or he does?
No, we still get that update. I mean, Lysandra told me, we show that there's still $2,197 due in monitoring fees.
Okay, so that's accurate based on both systems.
It's my understanding. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the bill. That's the amount I got today. 2,197. I got this in the mail today.
Since Mr. Schrader's owned the property, has he actively had permits on that since owning it?
I think. Since he's owned it. That's 22.
You can see it right there. Yeah, he has an issued remodel building permit.
See, with the first one.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he had the first one too.
There's a,
Like November 22.
it's in from 24, yeah.
Yep, 24.
And then there's an expired electrical permit and expired mechanical permit. There's final plumbing permits from 24 and a final roofing permit from 22. So yes, we would agree that work is being done.
Okay.
But
This, yeah, I'm not.
is it at a point where he can call for an inspection of code to remove the tag? I don't believe so.
My understanding of removing the tag, the property needs to be habitable. And yet somebody can move in. And so I'm at a point where, we're putting in toilets, final things, cabinets and, and that could take, months more, for me, because I get busy and then we're gonna leave for a month, out of state and, so, it's just, but that's my understanding of it is it's gotta be habit. I've got a list of items on the red tag list, but once you get into a property, there's so much more, and I've, yeah,
Probably, this is maybe outside of the scope. Is there a process like to declare a house like it's not, I mean, essentially red tag it is, but I'm thinking of it like insurance terms. We have vacant building statutes, right? The building is declared vacant, you can't use it, but you're maintaining it to a standard.
Sure.
Do we have a process for that? Like in this case, declaring this a vacant home that's being renovated, like
It's not red tag?
it's not red tag, but I know, it's just not like we do.
No, I get it. Maybe not to that degree. The way you said it, the way I would think of it, and looking to Tom, is code officers have the opportunity when they're out there, they might red tag something and progress will have been made. There's an opportunity to decide if the tag can be removed, but if there's still outstanding issues, they can then issue a safety enforcement letter. So it still says that there's stuff wrong, but maybe doesn't meet the standard of a red tag.
Because it's kind of like, I'm looking at, I built a house 10 years ago in the city of Lansing. It was clearly not fit to live in until it was ready to be lived in.
Sure.
I mean, when you're taking a house down to the studs.
Right.
Is it,
Fortunately, there's,
I'm not arguing with what you guys.
yeah, no,
I understand you're following.
But yeah, because once it's red tag, then we can't remove the red tag until all permits have been final,
Right.
held to the state standard at that one. So, the FCC's right in some instances, if there's just cleanup work and just cosmetic type of work, yeah, we could remove a red tag if a squatter had lived in there and they cleaned it up. We could transfer from a red tag to a safety, but in an instance where they start pulling permits, then we have to keep the red tag on until all permits have been finalized.
Is there a way in your mind, maybe this is a different topic for a different meeting, but to design a system that would account for someone like what Dale's doing or what the folks are doing on 108 MLK?
I would say, not to mean to interrupt, but I would say, I think that is our intent with the draft package coming to you soon, is to offer flexibility for properties that are tagged, that there are active owners working to remediate the issues, whether that be full on rehab, gut, all the way down to, there's just a hole in the roof, for them to come to the department and ask for grace in the monitoring. Remind folks that we red tag, the owner has the first 90 days. I think this was red tag before you had bought it, so you missed out on that opportunity, but.
Okay, well, in my example maybe is a little similar because we did pay regular inspection fees. Okay,
Have one more comment. And I'll be getting on this when it does, they do the draft, introduce the draft ordinance, but the psychological impact also of, someone of doing work and not getting incentives or anything. These are, this is what you hear about, all these properties, the red tag here and all that. But to remove the red tag for a period of time, not 1 month. 1 month almost seems like, okay, now you've got to turn around and do it again, and again and again. It's almost like a penalty. And for $165, I don't think it's worth codes or our time to even do it. But that's something I'll, bring up when that comes up. But, when you're talking to people about the draft ordinance, I mean, I think that impact of that, it would have I think it would make a difference on red tag houses in general to have encourage people to do work, and then they're rewarded by seeing, okay, you get this tag removed, as long as, we're going to come back and look at it. And I think that would encourage progress in some of these contractors and owners that buy these properties.
Thank you so much. Anybody? Okay.
well, I'll admit, this is an error in a flaw in the system that has not been put in front of me before, right? Like, I think usually when we have these things get to us, we've got someone that's been derelict on the property, and I don't think that Mr. Schrader is denying that he wasn't paying the fee, because he hasn't paid it, but I do think that we don't usually see a situation like this where someone is actively keeping their site up. Maybe I'm wrong, but the fees do feel a little excessive on this end, especially knowing that we're looking at trying to change them.
I think, we have had this, like with the MLK property most recently, as well as with Eastside Neighborhood Action, where they had the same complaint that they're literally building and working and all these things, and everybody said we wanted to stick to the lay of the land.
Okay.
So those have been three over the last couple of months, with the same concern.
That's a good point. I forgot about those two.
I wanted to address that, there is a builder friend of mine, that, he's working on a house at Pennsylvania and Kalamazoo, couple houses, and they're triplexes. And, same thing, just got rehab job of a red tagged house. And I've seen what his work is, and he's got it down to the studs. He's paying a red tag fee, you know, and he was very interested in this case, you know, in my situation, because I said I was appealing it, and I think there are others that are trying to do things in good faith. But I think you would have to leave it up to the code enforcement officer to determine it, you know, to actually put eyes on it and see, you know.
Well, and I think Councilman Brown raised a good point. I think you brought it up too, like maybe too late for you on this particular instance, but
Right.
I do expect you to engage in the next round of ordinance changes.
Yeah, I'd like
Because I
to
agree with,
change the
I don't want to be
process.
picking and choosing winners and losers.
We have, looking for a motion.
I remember how we do this one though. Hold on, let me look at the resolution.
Right, it's back and forth.
I move to deny the claim.
Oh, if he's denying the claim, what does that mean? That's not how the resolution is written.
If he's denying it, then his fails. They're saying that he owes the money.
We have proper motion on the table. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you for coming, sir. And this will be
It'll be at council on Monday.
on Monday.
On Monday. Okay, good,
That's next meeting.
good.
So
Okay.
feel free to come down if you want to make comment then as well before the full council, and then that's when they vote on the final.
Okay.
We vote on the decision on this.
All right.
Thank you for all your comments and insight, all the work that you do in Lansing.
It's also the death of me.
Well, I hope we can learn from your experience in changing.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
you've got some valuable insight on
Yeah, so. you're always-
There are others. I do believe there are some. You know, it's last something like this. So hopefully it'll help. Okay.
Absolutely, thank you.
Is that-
Thank you.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
We have resolution C. 2199 Megan Royals for 550 in trash removal for 217 Rita Avenue. That's you?
Yes.
I'd like to come up a little closer. That's fine. That's cool.
Oh. Dale?
The leather is mine.
Oh.
Got two
Sorry.
cards. Thank you, though.
Yep, sorry about that.
Hello, and you are Megan?
I am
Is it Megan or Megan?
Megan.
Oh, Megan, okay. All right, the floor is yours.
So I guess to go back before, we had a filing cabinet, as you can see in the pictures. One filing cabinet was pushed up against our garage door. Basically what was happening was our neighbors were having issues with clients. They were having just cars up and down the road. He was a mechanic. He wasn't supposed to be doing stuff out of his house, but he was. So code compliance continued to come back to our neighborhood. And my personal opinion is that they were just in the neighborhood and it was just convenient there was one filing cabinet. My issue with the whole incident is that I was never provided notice. So one day we just came home and the filing cabinet was gone. And I didn't know that it was taken by the city of Lansing until I got the notice for the $550 bill. I never got this in the mail. I had talked to the original code compliance officer. He said he sent one letter via mail. We didn't get it. So we would have just moved the item easily. It was only the one item. We would have just moved it into our garage. Basically, my husband was trying to move things around in the garage to find a good space for it. We also had a tree fall in our yard. We had a fence to fix, just normal day-to-day problems. We just hadn't moved it yet. He also was trying to find somebody to help him move it. I did file an appeal for that. We had that on October 8th. That was also denied with no reasoning why it was denied. So I guess my problem is just I was never provided the notice. I guess that, like I said, they said that they sent something in the mail. I never received it. My car's in the driveway in the picture. There was, nobody knocked on the door. Nobody left a business card in the door. Nothing was put on the item. So there was really no way for us to know that it needed to be moved because again, we didn't get anything in the mail.
Oh, are you talking about this?
Yeah.
Your car here?
Yep, that's my car.
So this is your house and then this is
Correct.
also the garage.
Correct.
Okay.
And so I don't know why the pictures were taken of the trailers because that wasn't a concern. The only concern that they had was, as you can see, the one filing cabinet pushed up against the garage. The code compliance officer said that he believes that it was damaged. It was not damaged whatsoever. And I guess if my claim is denied, I would just maybe ask that you guys provide more notice to people, maybe a certified letter or, like I said, a letter on the door, a business card, a tag on the, on the item would be helpful because we would have just moved it. I've also lived in the home for about 4 years, never had any issues.
Thank you. Riley, would you like to speak to this?
I don't know that I have much more to add, unless you have specific questions.
I mean, is she, can you just, your guys' purview, it looks like there's one cabinet, there are pictures of these trailers. Could you speak to? Did a letter go out? Could you speak to?
Sure. You should have in your copy or your package, a copy of the trash and debris correction notice that was sent to 17 Rita. Ordinance does not require us to do certified mail for those violations. So outside of us mailing it and it not coming back to us as undelivered, we assume that it was delivered. That we don't have any other way of affirming that. On the original notice, you can see that the premise inspector noted trash found in bags, boxes, and barrels. Inspector comments, that's a standard language. And then under that, the inspector can note specifics. So said next to garage, garbage, deteriorated appliances, and deteriorated metal product, that would be the filing cabinet. With trash and debris notices, the owner gets an opportunity to comply with it. If upon the reinspection it's not complied, we then submit it to the trash vendor the city has, and that vendor has 10 days to then go.
When I'm looking at the timeline too, it was noticed, it was outside for at least 30 days, right?
The
It was
notice,
probably about that. It was a couple of weeks.
Because that they found it on the 1st of May, dated on the 2nd, that's 31 days.
Yeah, it was around a couple of weeks. Like I said, we just had other things that we had the tree fall and other things, and we hadn't gotten to it yet. So I would say it was about a couple weeks.
I say notice was issued on May 1st. We did a reinspection on May 19th. Trash vendor arrived on June 2nd.
just remove the cabinet.
Correct.
There was a note on the trailer. Why was the trailer noted specifically?
Yeah. That's what I'm-
So sometimes with claim review requests, and it's similar to a FOIA, we will provide anything we have on file as it may relate. And so officers often will take many photos when they go on site. Doesn't mean that all of those photos exactly then are related to whatever the violation is. Because sometimes the premise officer will take the photo so that they can guidance from a supervisor. So
Oh, it was in the trash form authorization. Possibly occupied, please clean up only around the trailer and driveway. That's right.
There was no trash though around the trailer that I observed. In the last hearing on 10/8, they also said the same thing. They did not
Right. there was no-
witness any trash. It was just the filing cabinet.
Well, as with the last claim, this is pretty cut and dry. There was a violation. It was not taken.
For denial, the attorney.
Oh, sorry. So that would be denial of the claim. The money would stay with us. She wouldn't be getting anything back. Is that?
I just always do that for the record for anybody.
Oh, got it.
Thank you so much. We have a motion. All in favor? All right. Thank you so much. And we do understand. Yes.
Monday.
Monday, yes. Monday, the council meeting. So just like the previous claim, the actual final decision is made at the council meeting, Monday, 7 p.m. the door that you saw earlier. And feel free to have public comment as well. So come before the whole council for
The council is to deny the claim. We're not a decision making level. We'll recommend to the council based on
Okay.
what will happen on Monday night is the full council will work in their package. So they can decide whether to deny or alter the claim.
Okay.
At that meeting, there's a chance for you on the front end of the meeting to speak for 3 minutes
Okay.
to the council. And then they weigh that as part of their decision making process.
Okay.
Monday evening.
Okay, so that's Monday at 7 here, 10th floor. Okay. Okay.
and
To confirm, you guys don't issue notice to her about Monday's meeting.
No, there's no notice
Oh, no,
given.
that's-
Yeah. I imagine
That's what I
at the end of the
Thank you.
denial, or if it is denied or not, something goes out to
A letter gets sent by me.
disposition of the
Okay.
claim is sent to the.
so it's your choice if you come or not come, if you know, to, have a public comment or not.
And then if you do, of course, have the final appeal, which would be through the court system,
Okay.
if you wanted to go that far, if the council does deny the claim as well.
Okay, perfect. Is that good information? Will that be in the, if it's denied by the council on Monday, will that be in the letter?
I believe so. I'll double check. I'll touch base with you.
Okay, great. Well, thank you all for your time. I hope you have a great day. Thank you.
No, for the body,
I have something. As far as I can see right now for the next city operations on what some referrals might be coming out of Monday's meeting. Have options for you guys. We can still hold the meeting on the 18th. But any action items that come out of that will not go in front of council until January 12th. So we can either cancel the meeting on the 18th and then refer any items that are to Cal instead of city operations. So that's your options. We can still hold the meeting on the 18th, have all those items, go through. They just won't go to council until January 12th. Or we can just have that. So it's just a longer delay. Right now, we have a reappointment, we have a nonprofit, we have social district. So
I think that just for the decision making and going next year, I think just doing committee on the whole probably will
think so.
separate.
yeah, it just go through quicker too. Okay, so cancel the 18th then? Okay.
You good with that?
That's my party, so I'm glad.
Okay. All I have.
That is
Well, go before we leave, because I'm the person who adjourns the meeting. It's been nice working with you,
Yes, you
buddy,
too.
on this committee. This will be our final meeting then, and also Councilman Garza. It's been a
Mhm.
pleasure. We've done some good work, learned a lot, and we've made a lot of decisions. So thank you so much. All right, with that being said, this meeting is adjourned.